What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Nolan TCG, and today we have a little bit of a different thing as we were on the Cowboy for Game podcast a few days ago. So the link for that is going to be down in the description below if you want to go check out the full podcast. Please do go and give them a watch and a subscribe. It's great content that they do. It's great podcasts every week. But here today we do have about a quarter of the podcast that I was on. We've just done a little bit of a supercut just to kind of give you guys a sample of what they do and the great content that they make. But enjoy!
Hey guys, Lachlan here from Cowboy for Game, and today I'm joined by Jake.
Hi.
And Ben from Nolan TCG.
Howdy.
So today we're gonna pretty much discuss and give our opinions on what's gonna happen between now and Worlds in regards to physical card prices, because there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world right now, and with certain quarantines or lockdowns, we think maybe physical cards won't retain their value as well. All right.
Some people think that, but anyway, this is part
some
of the discussion.
people. And then after that, we're gonna go in and sort of pick a bunch of high rarity staples or chase cards and guess what their value is gonna be just before Worlds.
The answer is low.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty low. But we'll jump right into this. Jake, what do you think is going to happen over the next 4.5 months?
So the thing with me in this regard is that I'm fairly close to it. My job is basically, within the real estate market, we're experiencing similar things, that the buyer pool is shrinking for different reasons, similar but different reasons. Obviously, the virus is having an impact on that as well. The main difference is between that market and this market is that obviously the price is much more.
Yeah.
So the investment is a lot more. But the other difference is as well is that there's never going to not be an interest in that market. People will always be interested in property, whereas if this game doesn't progress to a certain point, like if there's no new product releases, no tournaments and things like that, being that a lot of other games, unlike Yu-Gi-Oh, are offered online, it may lose some of its fan base in that time, because people may sell their product, move on to other games, and then not come back in. So maybe a similar effect to what the introduction of the link format had to the game, that a lot of players come out and don't come back in.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of Konami not really having something like Pokemon TCG Online. Like, they've got Duel Links, but it's different, you know?
Yeah, the closest thing they have is their game that they've released a couple different versions of it. Like their most recent version just had an update, basically to give us the current card pool, and stuff like that. So like they're kind of getting there, but they're still way behind the curve when it comes to games like Magic and Pokemon and stuff like that, where they've had an online platform for a very long time.
Yeah. With all that in mind, do you think prices are going to stay? Do you think they're going to drop significantly? Like, we're talking like 50%?
So my thought with prices is similar to with my job. So the prices will drop at the moment. The biggest issue with it is that the clever sellers out there will be able to retain a good price, because the issue is that people rely quite a lot on pricing apps and eBay prices and things like that. But if the market's stagnant like it is at the moment, there's no evidence of change. So if people are relying on apps like that, it's very hard to track any change in the marketplace. But in saying that, the savvy buyer knows the market conditions and can get quite good prices at the moment. But similar to the property market, and this is sort of where I was coming back into it, once things come back, a lot of the staple cards and things like that will more than likely swing back to their pre-shutdown prices, if not possibly more, because there may be a limited availability of these cards, being that stock's not getting delivered at at the moment stock's being delivered, but if things get worse, stock's not being delivered.
Yeah,
I know
it's going to be
that
very difficult for people to get their hands on product.
exactly. Yeah, I know that with the forthcoming set, I can't remember what it's called, Secret Soldiers or something like that. I can't remember
Secret
what it's called.
Slayers?
Yeah.
Secret Slayers, that's it. I was close. With that particular set, I know only certain countries are actually getting access to it. I believe it's just Australia and America. But then America also have jump promos. So, like, between those two countries, the format's quite different.
Yeah.
And I know most other countries aren't getting that sent to them. So, and then Eternity Code is still very much up in the air as to whether anyone will be able to get access to that, as far as I know.
Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting.
It's
So, yeah.
I don't know how the game like pushes for. They can give us new ban lists or alternate formats to play with the cards we already have, but I don't know how the game progresses if we aren't getting new product. Like, they can mail it out to us, but that's if you want to spend $90, $100 plus shipping on a box.
Yeah, so there's obvious supplies issues with the physical product. So them keeping on top of that to keep people invested in the game will be an interesting challenge for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to my original point. Obviously, once the market does, well, once the sort of virus containment strategy has succeeded and everyone's back to normal, the prices will be quite high. And it all comes down to a question of when as to where those prices will end up. Because if it's close to WCQ events, the prices will be astronomical.
To give my sort of general opinion on what's going to happen to card prices, I think I have a bit more of an extreme view, in a way, than what's been said so far. Like, I do agree in principle, but I do think the drop is going to be a lot more significant. I think we're talking like, I mean, it's based off how long we're going to be sort of locked down or quarantined.
Yeah, like, everything's still very fresh at the moment. Once it kind of settles into people's minds that, hey, I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2 months. Why am I holding this stuff?
Yeah,
we're going to
exactly.
see prices crash hard.
That's what I'm getting at is, if we're locked down for a month, I don't really think there's going to be much change in the market. Like, there might be a small dip, but people aren't going to worry after a month. If we're locked down for like 4 months, or like the landscape significantly changes after 4 months or just before Worlds, I think we're going to see the market just completely crash. People are just going to be like, there's no value in this at all. I'm more focused on like having food or like putting petrol in my car. Like, I think those are going to be
Well, having petrol in your card's irrelevant because you can't go anywhere.
I imagine
Yeah.
I imagine there'll be some sort of work we can have by then, right? I don't know. Everyone will be employed by Woolworths by then. Alrighty, so do we want to look at some cards?
Let's,
Yeah, 100%.
Let's take a look.
Awesome. So what card is first off the bat?
Let's look at something meta related. So let's look at what the hell's the meta now?
Let's look at Invocation.
Oh, don't break me. I don't want to know.
See, Super Invocation by August 1st, a quarter of its current price.
Quarter.
For
Yeah.
Super Invocation.
Frankly, I don't know why it's at that price. That's exorbitantly high.
You can still find packs of that set if you look hard enough.
Yeah.
It is not difficult.
Yeah, Shadows in Valhalla isn't all that old. Like, it's kind of old, but not that old.
Alrighty,
Like, not as old as
so-
Fusion Forces. Like,
Yeah, I can find it says lowest 29, the average is about 32. So you're saying $8, Ben.
$8, yep.
$8. Yeah, I'm gonna say like $5. I don't think this is the Shadows of Valhalla version where
Wait, shit, man. Are you looking at this converted to Australian or are you in USD? So I've just opened up my app and it says $50 on Super Valhalla.
yeah, that's what mine says. That's what I was talking about. Like, mine's got
That
lowest
is
40, average
ridiculous.
51, and that's what I mean.
I might be
Exorbitant.
looking at this in. Let's take a
I
look at
think you're looking
settings
at
real
USD,
quick.
mate.
Yep, I'm looking at USD.
Yeah, there we go.
Even then, I'd say $12. Super Invocation,
Yeah,
$12.
I'd say anywhere between sort of 10 to 15.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to my guns and just say $5.
Are you just gonna
Okay.
brag this whole thing and just say $5 for everything?
If Bragg was here, that is what he would say. Yes. No, but I do legitimately think it's not just going to be a drop off because of anything else. It's going to be a drop off because the hype from the deck will die down. Alrighty, Ben, give us a card.
Let's go with Extrav, both the secret rare and the reprint price if we receive it at launch.
Ooh, okay, interesting. That's a big spec because we have no idea what rarity it's going to be. And from the way that they've announced that set 2, there could possibly be 2 rarities.
Let's work on the fact that it's 1 per box. Let's say 1 per box. You're guaranteed to pull one.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Okay.
I'm willing to take other people's answers first, so I have a longer time to think about this.
Don't pretend like you're not going to say $5.
What's the current price on the secret rare?
Lowest is
110, average
131.
I can
Why
see.
does your lowest say my average?
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
It's
My
mine too.
average is 131.
My
you're
lowest is
saying your
131.20.
Mine is 131.79, and my lowest
Maybe yours is
110.
including.
At least we're not on USD anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on
close
that
enough.
page. Yeah.
Look, I'm the one
But it-
recording the screen. We'll go off that.
Okay. I
I
reckon
can't see what your screen says. Anyway,
we'll go with
so-
a secret rare.
Alright, secret.
I'm gonna say $55.
$55. Okay.
Reprint.
okay.
Reprint about
Uh,
$30.
Reprint 30.
I'm going to say $80 for the secret,
80.
and I'm going to say 25 for the reprint.
25 for the reprint. So I'm going to say that before Worlds, you'll be able to pick up a playset of Extravagance for $100.
Damn,
The secret.
Jesus Christ! Is that a prediction or a wish?
No, that's a prediction. I think. I mean, that's essentially what happened to Desires after it got reprinted.
But the reprint
Desires
in a
was
different
also a
rarity.
guaranteed. It was a guaranteed ultra.
I guess that's fair, but I don't think this card's going to be hard to find. And I think now that they've reprinted it once, they're going to reprint it a lot more. And I think people are going to sort of key onto that quickly.
I think when Desires got its reprint, I picked up the secrets for like $25 a pop because it came
Yeah.
out right in the sweet spot of when to buy cards.
I sold Desires just before, like the day before it got reprinted, like before the reprint got announced, and it was very good. So I'm gonna say what's that?
It's like 30
we'll say 30,
$35.
35,
35
and then
each.
round down for a playset. 35, and I'm gonna say the reprint will be 15.
And so yeah, that was the supercut of the podcast that I was on. Please do go check it out. It does go on for a little bit longer. We talk about a few more cards as well as give a few more opinions at the start and stuff like that. While you're there, please do hit the subscribe button. But as always, I've been Ben from Nolan TCG. Have a good afternoon, everybody.